guys, how are you? Andy Suku here. Have another great question to answer, and this question is asked by another one of our audience. And by the way, I love when you guys ask us these questions, especially the technical tough questions, because listen, there's no shortage of garbage on the internet, right? You know, especially from all these gurus that are standing in front of a Lamborghini that they don't own, park in front of a house that they don't own. You know, everyone's a credit guru or financial specialist on social media. So I love it when you guys ask me this question for two reasons. One, I love answering them, but two, shows that you guys are eager to learn and you want to do things the right way. And the questions that you guys ask me are actually pretty interesting. Sometimes I wonder, how do you guys come up with these questions, or how did you know about that scenario to ask me that question? So keep the questions coming. I love it. I'll answer it for you guys, right? So today the question comes, and it says, and it has to do with authorized users on credit cards. Now, if you watched our video or been following us for some time now, you know that we speak about this topic a lot, and especially if you did a consultation in my office and we fix your credit. On the exit call that we have when we're letting you go and closing your file up, we have this conversation as well. So this is actually a really, really great question, and I think it needs to shine some light on it, because there's a lot of transparency that needs to be discussed on this topic. And there's a lot of fugazi information on the internet about this topic. So the question is, does adding or removing an authorized user from your credit card affects your credit score? That's actually a great question, and that question actually have a few answers. I'm going to try to put all those answers into this video. First off, let's talk about what an authorized user is. So let's say you have a family member, or you're a parent and you have a son or a daughter, and you want to add them to your credit card. And if you're doing it when they're 17, 18 years old, that means you are trying to help them establish credit, build a credit portfolio, get some sort of information on the credit report, so all three bureaus can read the same lingo and they have some sort of a file being created in the credit bureau, right? Either you're doing it for that, or you're doing it to help someone fix their credit, right? So let's say I'm the parent, I have a son or daughter, I want to add my credit card to their credit report, to their social, so they can help build their credit. So what's going to happen is that I have good credit, I'm going to use a prime credit card, I am going to add them to my credit card in 30 days, or my next statement date. It's going to report to their credit card. Now they're going to have a line item on their credit report. It's going to say authorized user. I may or may not give them the card. They're going to have a score. They're going to have data. It's going to have open date, closed. It's going to have open date, balance date, current balance, limits, all that stuff that you see on credit report that's on your credit report is going to transfer over to my son or daughter's credit report, right? And now they become an authorized user. They're piggybacking off of my data, my positive history, which the account that I added them to, I had it for 10 plus years. I probably have a $20,000 limit. My utilization is probably 10%. So that's a great scenario to help my child start building their credit. Now let's say you have a friend or a family member that have not so great credit, probably have a collection, have a charge off, have a bankruptcy, and they're trying to establish their credit. Now you're going to try to add them. They're going to ask you, hey, can you add me to your credit card so I can start building credit? One thing we tell you guys all the time, you cannot add positive data to a negative credit report. It will balance itself out and it will not work. The score will not go up. You cannot have 5 negative accounts charged off with balances and currently reported, unresolved, and expect to think that one positive account is going to flip the script and now this person will start building credit. Actually, that I'm going to talk about that later in the video, but I could actually hurt you, the primary card holder. All right. So let's say, going back to the scenario, let's say a friend or family member have not so good credit, they have collections, whatever the case may be. They actually add them to the card. Let's say you have a Barclays. Actually, let's use a Chase. Let's say you have a Chase credit card. You're going to add them to your credit card as an authorized user. That data is going to report to them. but they still have negative data on their credit report. So they're not going to see a score in 30 days. It's going to be like, hey, my score didn't go up. That's because you have negative things reported. That's unresolved. That's what an authorized user is, where you're piggybacking off of someone's good credit, good credit history, good payment history on a prime credit card to help you establish your credit and build your credit. All right. Now here's the downfall of that. And to answer the question the person asked me, no, the credit bureaus does not know how many authorized users you have. They don't know who you remove it or add to your credit report. And no, it does not affect your score. Only the bank knows that. All right, only the bank, because you're gonna call the bank, say, hey, I want to add this person's authorized user. Here's their social, their date of birth. Only the bank knows that data. So the credit bureau is never gonna know if you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 authorized users, or if you remove 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 people off your credit card. They're not gonna know that. However, now I've noticed that Experian more so is able to tell who the primary user is. Regardless, if they're able to tell who the primary card holder is, it does not affect the primary card holder's credit score. So to answer the question that the person asked me, no, it does not. You can add them as much as you want, but you can add as much authorized user as you want, and you can remove as much as you want. Most banks give you 5, except for American Express. American Express does not report past data. So if you add someone to your American Express card, I have a lot of clients that ask me that, and they say, oh, my friend has a business card or American Express Gold, whatever the case may be. If they add me, will that help my credit? You'll have an account on your credit report, but you will not get the previous history. American Express does not do that. They only report to the authorized users report the day of when it was added. Okay, so that's one thing I wanted to clear up with you guys, American Express. 2, if you add someone to your credit card, always remember, whatever you do is going to affect that person's credit reports. If you max out your credit card and you don't bring the balance down before your statement date, it's going to affect that person's the authorized user's credit report and score. All right, if you charge off the card, it's going to affect the authorized user, even though they have no liability or responsibility to the debt. The data still travels, because when they report every month, it's reported to everyone's social. When the primary, let me rephrase that again. When the primary cardholder data reports from the creditor, it reports to everyone's credit report as an authorized user on the credit card. Okay. Now, here's the thing. Now, what has changed a lot, what you guys need to know, and this is more specific for the clients that left our office that has prime credit cards. If you add too many people and remove 20 people in a short period of time, and this has to do with especially Discover and a Chase Sapphire, Chase Preferred, or Chase Freedom card. If you just got the credit card from these banks, we just fixed your credit, you got those credit cards, and now you start adding, because I know you guys like to want to help people, and think you know it in credit. What's going to happen if you start abusing that privilege? 1, the credit card company could close the card, or they could cut your limit of how many people you can add as an authorized user. They're going to track it. Banks don't like that, especially prime banks. They don't like authorized users because you're trying to establish credit for someone else. They don't really like doing it. And you could Google this and research this on the web and on the bank's disclosure when you apply for a credit card. So if you add too many people on the card and take them off too soon, you will be red flagged. Second thing is, let's say the friend that you wanted to add, they had a Discover credit card and they charge off that credit card with Discover and it wasn't resolved. If you add them to your Discover credit card as an authorized user, after 30 days, Discover will do an audit and they will close your card. Chase Sapphire does the same thing. So you got to make sure, you got to be responsible as a primary card holder who you're adding as an authorized user, because their bad history can affect you, just like your bad habits can affect them when it reports. All right, guys. So that was a great question this person asked me. I hope this 10-minute video I just did clarified this topic. And I know everyone has questions about authorized user credit cards. And I know people that's trying to establish credit and build credit, and they talk about getting secure credit cards. If you guys listen to me long enough, and I said on this video, I do not advocate for secure credit cards. I don't believe in them for multiple reasons. I don't believe they work. And one of the main reasons why I don't like them is that you're putting your $500 deposit up to a bank. They're going to give you a card, a secure credit card, but they turn around and add 17% interest rate on the card. So basically they're adding 17% APR to your money, your free money. 2, it takes longer to build credit with a secure credit card. 3, most people only do it for $200, $250, or the most $500 because that's what they can afford. If you do things like, if you add a secure credit card with a $500 limit, when you apply for credit cards, 1, it's a secure credit card. So prime banks are not going to entertain any application for you. Subprime will entertain it, but they're going to keep you in that $500 credit limit. So it's like you're stuck in this whirlwind of just only getting approved for a certain amount of cards and a certain amount of limit. I don't advocate for it. I know a lot of credit report monitoring sites have it. Credit Karma has it. I tell you guys, stay away from it. It's better off you ask a family member to add you to their card as long as they meet the criteria, which if you do a consultation with us, we will tell you what the criteria has to be in order to get the max benefit out of it. So I don't advocate for secure credit cards. I don't believe in them. I don't think they work. I've tested them. You can test them yourself. I have clients that have them on their credit report, and they're just a disaster. Okay, so guys, if you have any questions about this video, drop a comment below, and I'll try to answer them for you. Have a great day. Enjoy the rest of your week. Talk to you soon.